in peculiar fashion, I am starting to pre-record videos and I'm setting them aside. See, big brain, big brain. But today, we're in a state that your boy is not supposed to be in, you know? But nevertheless, we're not talking about that today. I had a vision, man, that I didn't come to terms or come to peace with so-called enemies or people I have messed over, but I have tried to recollect and push aside my grievances and my petty opinions about them to move forward. And think one reason I'm doing that because I have lost wouldn't say a family heirloom, but I might have, you know, misplaced a family heirloom or a relic, you might say, that is no longer in my possession. So since I'm down here, I'm gonna try to communicate with that individual, even though we're no longer on speaking terms, but to see if that individual has that. If not, then I might have lost it, which is pretty hurtful. And this so-called family relic is, to be honest, it's just an accessory, but it means so much more because it's broken. But the way it's broken, it looks like it's supposed to be like that. So, as I'm speaking to y'all, I got a couple of videos coming out. Uh, Mainly, I think most of the videos that's supposed to be coming out that's pre-recorded is it's about transparency, mainly. So we're gonna be talking about transparency and trying to be honest. Cause the way I used to be, I would never lie, but I only tell you things that be needed, not anything else, anything extra in that sense of manner. But I gotta work on that because individuals evolve, everybody evolves. But I was stuck in this childlike mindset that other people who have done me wrong to a severe legality, I'm like, you cannot change. But I still think that to certain extents, like maybe if you like used to be like a jerk or something, yeah, that's fine. But like it gets to the point where when you're causing bodily harm to a human being or mentally scarring them, I feel like you can't evolve from that at all. Especially if it was a gruesome act. I don't know. Maybe that is kind of shallow, but it does get to a point. If you're mentally scarring them to the point where like they gotta, as a was, they gotta seek refuge into humans they don't know to speak about what you have done, then I no longer see you as a human. I see you as a demon. A demon with human characteristics. If you can do that to a individual that is younger and very impressionable, I feel like there's no coming back from that. So, as I say, people can evolve. You're pushing it to a certain extent because I start to think that it's no reason for you to change. And then those people have that been affected by you know your problems or your mistakes, they tend to evolve backwards. They tend to de-evolve into a lesser human. They tend to do things that they normally wouldn't do because it was done to them. So, as I say that, you shall seek refuge in your mind, my younger self said. But with that, it makes me think that anybody can change, but you can change for the better or worse. But mainly, I start to see down here, there's so many people who contort the truth just to fit their views. It's manipulation, but we all manipulate, good or bad. If you can't stay true to yourself and that person still likes you, then maybe it wasn't meant to be. But I can't say that because, I hid things. I hid things about how I used to. I wasn't a troubled youth, but I was a so-called little juvenile back then. So I tried to hide that, but I couldn't hide it for long because the people I trusted, I guess, not even outed me, but tried to use that against me to, you know, to get leeway, to get a up on me. But it didn't work. Well, I guess it worked in some extent because uh, me being kind of a so-called bad kid when I was younger still hold it over my head, and I respect that. Once I get this cult-like, not even a fan base, more cult-like supporters, you know, I can't call y'all family because I don't know y'all, but a cult-like supporters, because if you support me, that means you don't agree to everything, but you support me in different categories and areas that I speak on. If you're a so-called fan, that means you agree to the minute point of everything I'm saying. Every last word you agree to or understand on a mental level. So being a fan is way different than being a supporter. You can support some of my ideologies and my ideals, but sometimes you don't agree how I feel. What is it? About changing people. Like some people be like, oh, some people just can't change. I see that, um, like a addict, they can change, but they can still hop off the wagon sometimes. Like going cold turkey for a couple months doesn't mean you're finally clean. So the way I see it, you gotta give everybody a chance fairly, but it comes. I'm basically contradicting myself, but it comes to a point where some things are not also unforgivable, but it makes you think that they're not really human in a sense, you know? You're wondering like how could you do that to somebody? I got distracted. But that's fine. But when it comes to today, I'm gonna try to get in contact with that individual, see if that human being has the family relic. If not, that means it's long gone and I gotta get a new one. Which would be pretty hard because that one meant a lot to me. So it won't have the same power as or essence that the first one had. I know it seems very simple, very simplistic, but I hold that very wholeheartedly. And I feel like the reason I never spoke to people like the way I'm speaking to you right now, because once again, my past videos of like, I always put on a mask. But it's not really a mask because it's me. It's just one part of me. I was always seen as just a jokey, obnoxious, loud person that could never really change. And I was fine with that until your boy woke up one day, cold sweats, and I had a vision, had a dead-end job, then all his family has passed away. So it really made me think, like, what am I doing wrong? Because your boy don't even dream. I wish, like, I just go to sleep. Well, I'm kind of insomniac because I don't sleep until like 4. I don't know. Like, I'll cut all devices off, be in a dark room, trying to sleep, and it wouldn't work. I don't know. But I'll be having like these, well, I guess people call it daydreams, but I be like visions, where I'll space out, and my mind will like contort this little idea or a thing of me in the future not being where I'm supposed to be at. But there's so many places you can be at once, you know, and it's kind of scary because I know a lot of people, well, a lot of a lot of people I used to know that would leave me because they think I was supposed to, I'm not going to be anything, or it's the other way around. It's, oh, I don't want to hold you back, so I'm going to have to leave. I feel like you're going somewhere, so I'm going to have to leave you. And, and now that I see it, I'm like, because I would kind of do the same thing to this person because their ideals, they match mine, but at the same time, they're going in a different route. So, all right, so my fault for the little moment of silence. Had to get past something. So, today's conversation, we're going to start splitting conversations during the videos into categories. The reasons I'm doing that because I usually got like a monotone voice, but there's some videos where I'm a little bit hyper. I'm a little bit ecstatic. But I try to keep a monotone voice in a calm state when I'm talking, mainly because I feel like emotions, they're great to speak, but at that time, you don't have a level head, so your perspective and your opinions change throughout your emotions. So it's not even about controlling your emotions, it's more of regulating them, you know? It's a great word to use. I'm proud of myself. It's more on regulating your emotions than controlling them. So, with that in mind, some categories I might start touching on is because, all right, listen. We're almost at the quota of 25 videos, and I'm proud. Some of my videos better than others, but it's okay because you just gotta put out. I'm still learning. I'm teaching myself, but people. Okay, what's a topic we can try to not negate or try to diminish, but we can talk about? Okay, learning, not just evolving, but learning in sub-abstance, right? Well, instances. I come to see that people have these assumptions about me that, oh, the way you speak and the way you pronounce yourself, you must read a lot. Yes and no, because the way I see it, it's way harder to not only read but interpret a book than writing your own. So as I intake that, I tend to follow my own thoughts and minds, and I write those down. I feel like you can contribute way more if you create your own book than just reading off yours, because basically your ideas are mean nothing if you're just reading off books and you're just taking what you agree to. That's a great thing to do, but at the same time, I feel like it would be way better if you try to create your own. But a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't create books. A lot of people don't know how to, you know, put their thoughts down to the point where it's understandable to a multiple mass. Neither can I, but I cannot speak on others as if I know what they're thinking. So, as we're going through this, I'm trying to stay level-headed throughout most of the days because I am no longer hampered by, what is it, the prison we call the educational system, you know? But I am going to be present in there once again because We're doing another 4 years. Well, I feel like I'm not doing it for myself, but I'm only doing it to respect my guardian and to show them that I am more than just a pretty face. But I'm not even a pretty face, so can't even say it like that. So I'm just saying, cause I kept changing the reason why I was going to college. So the main reason why I was going to college, right, was because of athletics. I I got a little, I wouldn't even call it a scholarship, but I got an offer to play to a school that was pretty low. But my pride hit me in the heart because I was like, dang, I know I'm not the best in the world, but I'm not the worst. So I was like, I can probably evolve. But I was comparing myself to one of my closest, I wouldn't say close, but uh, a nice little, I guess, associate or a colleague that just was, you know, way above me in the more athletic department because he was doing this longer. I was only doing it for, shoot, not even a year, a couple of months, I guess. And I guess I got some attention, but I guess my mind was so deluded. I was like, okay, bet. I got one, I can get multiple. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go to college free. Play football. Shoot. Like, there's nothing wrong with having high dreams, but it gets to a point where you start to delusion. But delusion is very wonderful when it comes to be like, oh, I can be the best in the world. And sometimes words hold power. So the minute you say that, you can be like that. It holds more power. So I can say that, oh, I am not going to just be a Renaissance man. I'm going to be a, a beholder in multiple aspects, not just artistry and music and I guess commentary for now. Maybe even fashion. I might touch up on fashion because, and not to toot my own horn, but your boy used to be good at fashion. But I stopped dressing because I feel like fashion is a great way to express yourself. But I feel like people that do fashion don't know how to express themselves into a way that's other than just materialistic value. But I might be wrong on that because I used to do the same thing. So as I hold these, not even legarities, but as I hold these statures and these ideas, I might have to change. I feel like because I'm evolving so fast, I can't stay on one topic for long. But once I have mastered staying on topic without switching to the next one, I feel like I will be way better. So right now, I'm pretty worried though. Mm. I feel like it's always a pride thing. It's always you're thinking about the next thing, or you be like, oh, this is beneath me. This is something I don't want to do. And I think that's what's really holding me to this point. Seen a couple of dogs and just like random animals just chilling off the leash. Low key stuff. But I was saying, mainly think it's a prideful thing. Because when I was living with my legal guardian at the time, they was like, oh, well, since you're not hopping right back in. So I hit a plateau of thinking because I never really got injured during like athletic stuff. But I guess the pain just wasn't there during it. But after it started to settle in, I started to notice I had damage all in my shoulder and in my spine. I thought I had like displaced my spine and my like lower vertebrae or something like that. But anyway, that's try to be a little transparent with y'all, but that doesn't really matter. But when we get back to what I was talking about, I was mainly talking about how your pride can really kill things. And I think that's what it was in me. I feel like if I got a job where I'm working under somebody and I'm not working for myself, or not even working, because we have this like I guess this stale mindset that you just have to work, and yeah, in some instance that's what you got to do to pay your bills and get what you want. But I feel like there's a different way because you got to think all these materialistic values that we have is all social constructs. Like this social construct, clothes, money, designer, jewelry, social constructs to an extent. Because if you're dating back, you know, we had clothes before, we had accessories, but not to the extent where it is now. To the point where your materialistic value shows how much you so-called have. But we just changed the word of it. Because we used to brandish, but now it's stunning, now it's flexing. Nothing really evolves, it just changes. So, but I'm seeing that on a level of just physical, not mental, because you can evolve mentally and physically. But when it comes to something that's materialistic, is it really evolving or is this changing your perception of it? Because right now, this is a regular shirt, but I could put an acronym on it and be like, oh, this Balenci, and they'd be like, oh, I see it. They start they start to interpret differently. That's why I say art is the eye of the beholder, because somebody can tape a banana on a wall and sell it for like 44 million, and somebody else would think that's stupid, but somebody will buy it. So a month is about to end, about to hit September. I'm pretty sure I'm selling, still doing PT, starting to get back at things, but my mom keep on hampering me and start to overthink. And your boy made a dumb decision. He's like, well, I said I'm taking a hiatus on collegiate football. You know, I was pretty dumb of me, not gonna lie. But my pride and my ego got the best of me because I was like, dang, I'll make it to this level, but they're gonna change my position. But that doesn't really matter because some people don't even get that opportunity to do that. So I gotta think it's pretty sure it's a blessing to even get to that level. The percentile is very low to even get to that level. So you gotta really think it's a blessing to even get to talk about that, because some people just go straight to their 9 to 5. But right now, that's in the past. We gotta stay dedicated to one thing. And I feel like the only reason I am doing this, not for like a financial standpoint and don't be a financial burden on my family members, because I always used to think I was a financial burden, you know, going place to place, living here and there. I was never stationary. I was kept on moving. Get to the point where I thought I just wasn't wanted. But, no reason to mourn, You gotta, sometimes you gotta get over yourself, but some people just have these strong opinions to the point where they be like, well, I guess that's just me. And sometimes I see it not as a victim, but as in, like, are you serious, bro? Like, are you really complaining? But people can hit you with, oh, because you think because I got clothes on my back, I got food in my stomach, I got a roof on my head, and I got the simple essentials, I can't be depressed. I am never saying that, because I feel like depression is not only an illness, but it's an illness that's only been here for a couple, maybe a couple centuries, because our our body and our mind is only built to survive. You know, our body and our minds are built to survive. So I guess our mind create these illnesses to fake like it's in a survival mode just to live. But sometimes that can't be the case. I could be wrong. I can't diagnose anything because I have I don't have a piece of paper that says I studied long enough to say that. So it gets to the point. Because I'm never going to give you like a remedy, some freaking incense and a couple hot cups and put it on your back and be like you're healed, because that's pretty dumb. It's idiotic. You got to understand the body and the mind. So as I say that, I'm just walking around. I don't even know where I'm at once again, but it's okay. We're just walking around though, so it should be fun. One question I have for you, man, is what do you really think? It's not a deep question. It's not gonna be like, what is life for? Why are you put on this planet? It's gonna be like, why do you do the things you do? Yeah, like why do you do the things you do? Why do you work? Why do you clean? Why do you cook? Why do you feed yourself? So the essence of the question is not what is the point of living, but why do you live? Do you live for yourself or your family? I know, right? It's a crazy question. But I feel like there are going to be so many people like me. There's so many people with these type of thoughts I put on camera. But at the same time, I'm I'm trying to tell you, I am not no spiritual guy. This is nothing about the inner minds or anything. I might speak on that, but that's not my main focus. Because once you start speaking like that, people put you in categories once again. And one of those categories is, oh, he's fake woke. We don't do wokeness because, as I said, everything is brandished as corny, cringe, or overused. Those, but you gotta come to realize, if people even say that, they took time out their day just to speak on that. So obviously they thought something of it, positive or negative. My my biological mother used to say, they might hate, but at the end of the day, they still watch. I'm like, where did you get that from? Because I heard it before, I just don't remember. But she said it to me. I think that was during I was playing uh, football. That's when she said it. But it really stuck to me because not only was, you know, I was getting hate, but it was a reasonable reason. But, at the same time, it's my first time ever playing the organized sports. You got to give some boy. Like, you can have the natural talent, but if the so-called teachers or the coaches to guide you in the right way, and you're just winging it, yeah, can't really just put the whole blame on you. But at the same time, people don't know how things work, so they just blame the person that has the most attention on them, and that's completely fine. Sometimes you gotta understand, you just gotta take the blame for it. That's the way I see it, to be honest. Like, I heard this one thing, right? I'm not gonna give them any notoriety because we don't do that, because comparisons once again is a thief of joy. But I heard this one thing: even though it could be somebody's fault 90% and it's only 10% your fault, you gotta take 100% accountability. And at the same time, bro, that low key, like, as they're saying that shit, it low-key hurts me because it makes me think I can be done wrong 99 point goddamn 8%, bruh. But that 0.2% is still my fault, and I gotta take 100% accountability. And that low-key hurts. Not only does it hurt, it makes me feel like, what was the worth of trying to, speak what I had going on? What was the point? You know? What was the point of me even trying to not even pronounce or give my side of the story? But I was so childish to the point where if I was done wrong, I would try to do you 10 times worse just to so not only could you feel my pain, but you could understand where I was coming from. That is a childish aspect. I know, it's very childish, very childish. Why would you do that? But I can't just sum it up to me being young and dumb, because people have full cognitive ability to understand what they were doing, and they just sum it up to be like,